be a light to oneself.
There's a trap waiting for every music producer. We start because we have a sound in our heads that we want to get out. But somewhere along the line, the music industry gets inside our heads instead. You start producing for label submissions. You mix for an A&R's inbox. You start arranging a track to suit an algorithm. I know because I've fell into this trap, and I still do sometimes. That was me a few years ago, playing at a festival in South Africa to a couple of hundred people dancing and enjoying the music that I made. The music that I created for myself at the time. Now don't get me wrong, obviously it's amazing to release on a major label or any of your top 5 labels that are well established and known worldwide in the industry. And it takes years to perfect the sound that they're looking for, or loads of demos that you send them that get rejected or hardly even looked at. Once you finally get that release, it's a massive milestone in your career. I still send out demos to my favorite record labels and the major ones, and probably will keep on doing that until I get a release with them, because it's a major label, right? The thing is, if you chase the outcome, you kill the art. The magic is in the process of making the music. And yes, it does take years and years to perfect your craft, and ultimately we do get inspired by artists that we know and love. And yes, there are certain ways in which a track needs to sound depending on your genre. But remember to keep it true to yourself. Over time, and after producing track after track, you will eventually find your true sound, your original sound. Rubin talks about the idea that the audience comes last. He believes that true art only happens when you create for an audience of one, yourself. You make what moves you, because trying to guess what the world wants is an insult to the listener. So most of us have heard of Rubin. He's a world-famous producer who has worked with some of the world's best artists in the industry, and he helped them get to where they are now by following this philosophy of making music that is true to yourself. David Bowie said it perfectly in an interview, and I quote, "Never play to the gallery." I think it's terribly dangerous for an artist to fulfill other people's expectations. I think they produce their worst work when they do that. Now, it does take years to figure this out as an artist and eventually produce the music that is truly your own sound. But the beauty is in the process. So keep at it and don't give up. You'll eventually get there. I'm still going through this process myself. Although I have released music on a few decent labels, one of them being Nano Records, previously a few years ago, I switched genres from psytrance to melodic techno. But I still stayed true to my roots and kept the driving bassline energy that made hundreds of people dance to my music at that festival. The point is this: learn the rules like a pro so you can break them like an artist. This is why I started my own label, Adjustable Records, a home for music made without permission from others. Rubin and Bowie were right. Create exactly what you want to. Do it to the absolute limit of your skill, and your audience will follow. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.